Let the hunt begin!
This outpost. The true sons will be direct towards the campus.
What is going on, my fellow Division 2 gamers? I hope everyone is doing well and staying safe. Today, guys, got a really amazing build that I really enjoy using, and I will show you different variants of this build because this game has so much diversity, guys. There's multiple ways to play these builds, and these builds are always just blueprints, guys. Always make them your own. Use whichever works best for you. With that being said, I do want to give a big thank you to everyone that continues to support me on my channel, especially those who always have something positive to say, guys. Really appreciate each and every one of you for your valued time and continued support, and always taking time to stop by. If you're new to the channel and you like the content, guys, please feel free to hit that like, share, and subscribe, and turn on the notification bell as well, guys. It does not cost a thing, and it really does help to push the content on YouTube. With that being said, guys, today's gameplay will showcase the power of the Bighorn assault rifle. This assault rifle is great, guys. It's really amazing, very powerful. The main thing with this gun, guys, is you do want to aim for the head. You do want to get a lot of headshot kills because this gun is basically buffed up for headshots. With that being said, though, as you can see in the gameplay, guys, this gun is still performing pretty well, and I'm not even necessarily getting headshots. Now, I do have the modifiers on in this particular gameplay, guys, and I will not show this build works regardless, guys. I've put many Bighorn builds out before using this particular setup, even before modifiers were even introduced in this game. Now, if you're new and you want to obtain the Bighorn assault rifle, guys, you can obtain this solo. Basically, you need to go to the summit and play it on legendary content, guys. I would recommend you find one of those legendary builds, content creators. I even got a couple of builds that you can use on legendary on my channel as well. If you are subscribed, and you can use that, and you can farm the summit over and over until you do get the Bighorn to drop. With that being said, guys, I'm gonna show you a little bit of gameplay right now. I'm continuing to show this gameplay, and then we will go over this build shortly. All right, some other things that are taking place in the Division 2 are they're nerfing the method to obtain resources, basically, and level up your weapon expertise and gear, well, expertise overall. The way that a lot of gamers used to do, guys, is basically you will create another character, go to New York, level that character up basically from 30 to 40, and whenever you do that, a lot, whatever your watch points you had, that will be allocated, and you'll be able to use that across your characters. And one of the main things that we were doing was you was taking the printer filing and basically using that to level up your weapons and your gear, basically. Now that is going to change. Now the developers just announced that it's going to change, so I recommend if you haven't done it yet, guys, go ahead and do it before it's too late. All right, so let's go to this build really quick, and like I said, the star of the show is the Bighorn assault rifle. Okay, description reads: take aim, take a breath, steady yourself, concentrate, exhale, squeeze. The core stats on this gun is 118.44k with an RPM of 920 with 48 in the magazine. The headshot damage is what really stands out, 115%, guys. I do have a weapon expertise of 22%. I do plan to max that out to 28% at some point. And the middle core attributes are fully maxed out, guys, with assault rifle damage, health damage, and 10% damage to target out of cover. The accuracy is pretty great, and the stability as well. The recoil is the biggest issue you have with this gun. And the talent on this gun is called Big Game Hunter. Basically, whenever scope switches to semi-automatic firing mode, dealing 450% increase in weapon damage with each shot. Now, whenever you're not in that scope mode, guys, the headshot is basically granted 6% headshot damage. This stacks up to 25 times to get a 150% increase in headshot damage. Once at full stacks, which is 10, the stacks decay every 4 seconds until all stacks have been removed. Headshots do delay the decaying of the stacks, though, so keep that in mind. This gun is, like I said, guys, this gun is really centered around headshot damage. The biggest issue with this gun, guys, you will see when we go to build breakdown, and the mods that come on it, is the headshot damage of 40%, reload speed of 40% with 20% accuracy, and 20% stability. Like I said, there's no critical hit chance or critical hit mods on this gun, though, and that's the biggest issue. All right, the rock and roll shotgun is great, guys. Use whichever ACS-12 gun you have. This is just the name version. As you can see, it's fully maxed out with a weapon expertise of 17%, and the core attributes being increased with shotgun damage and damage to target out of cover. The talent on this gun is called Perfectly Extra. It boosts your magazine capacity by 50%. The mods I do have on this gun is critical hit chance, 2 critical hit chance mods of 5%. Now again, guys, use this to build up your stacks whenever we go, and you will see what I'm talking about when we go over the gear set that I'm using in this current setup. All right, guys, and I did go with the Coyote's mask because I wanted more critical hit chance and critical hit damage on this build. As you can see, the core attributes being a weapon core fully maxed out, with the middle attributes being either critical hit chance or critical hit damage. All right, the talent is what really stands out on this mask, guys. And like I said, I want to point out The Bighorn does not come with any critical hit chance or critical hit damage, so this mask worked great to get a little bit more damage as far as critical hit chance and critical hit damage using that. The talent on this mask is called Pack Instincts. You and all allies gain a bonus based on the distance of the last enemy you hit. From 0 to 15 meters, you gain 25% increase in critical hit damage. From 15 to 25 meters, guys, you get 10% critical hit chance and 10% critical hit damage. And 25 meters on out, guys, you're getting plus 25% critical hit chance. Overall, amazing mask, guys. And I will show you different variants of this build if you do not have the Coyotes mask. All right, I did go with the striker settings to setup, guys. And whenever you have a 4-piece sets, it really shines in this build. But 2 pieces gives you 15% increase in weapon handling. 3 pieces gives you 15% increase in rate of fire. And when you have the whole set on, guys, all 4 pieces, you get the Striker's Gamble. Weapon hits increase total weapon damage by 0.65%. This stacks up to 100 times. 1 stack is lost per second between 0 and 50 stacks, and 2 stacks are lost per second between 50 and 100 stacks, guys. Basically, you want to keep firing to keep those stacks up, and keep in mind the more stacks you have, the quicker it will decay or you'll lose those stacks. The core attributes I do have is a weapon core. It's fully maxed out, well, 15% weapon damage with 2 middle attributes being 6% critical hit chance. The talent on this chest, guys, is called Press the Advantage. It increases max stacks from the Striker's Gamma from 100 to 200. 3 stacks are lost per second between 100 and 200 stacks. Again, guys, the more stacks you have, the more faster you will, those stacks decay will start to occur. All right, I did have the Striker's Horse on as well. I did have 170k armor core on it, guys, but as you can see, you can change that out if you want with a 12% critical hit damage attribute as well. I did have the knee pads on as well with another armor core, which I can change out as needed. That was 170k with a critical hit chance of 6% attribute. For the gloves, guys, I do have the Eagle's Grasp, which is the name version of the Zoo gear piece, guys. And as you can see, it gives you 15% increase in magazine capacity. You do got an armor core with that middle attribute being 15% increase in weapon handling. Comes automatically on these particular gloves, guys, with a 6% increase in critical hit chance attribute as well. I do recommend this with the Bighorn, guys, to help improve the stability of this weapon because it has horrible recoil, in my opinion. All right, and I did have the backpack. The Striker's backpack is the 4th piece of the Striker set. The core attributes are fully maxed out. All red cores, guys, with 2 middle attributes being 6% critical hit chance. The talent on the backpack is called Risk Management. This increases total weapon damage you gain from Striker's Gammas from 0.65% to 0.90%. So ultimately, guys, more damage. Like I said, you want to use that ACS shotgun to build up your stacks. Keep those stacks up, guys. You will be putting out massive damage. All right, so you could have used the Banshee Pulse in this build if you prefer, guys. And what that does is it launches a 4 arc of pulse energy that disorients enemies caught in the wave, guys, and it even penetrates through walls. So that's just great. Or you could even with the Scanner Pulse, which also, guys, Scanner Pulse is amazing this season because it allows you to put that burn status effect on those enemies whenever you use the modifiers, guys. So it's definitely great for crowd control. Ultimately, it's whichever works best for you. Now, I was using this Striker drone as well. Really enjoy that, guys, because not only does it draw aggro, it does deal a little bit of damage to those enemies as well. But I primarily use to draw aggro, guys, to keep some of the attention off of myself. Now, if you didn't want to use the Striker drone, you could have even went with the Reviver Hive because it is great for surviving anything on heroic, guys. And, anytime you're playing heroic content, if you go down in a mission, you will have to start that whole mission all over. All right, so let's take a look at the weapon stats. As you can see, guys, I did have a 52% increase in critical hit chance. The cap is 60 with only 81% increase in critical hit damage. That's the only issue with this build, but that Coyotes mask kind of helps make out for that, guys, whenever you're getting those bonuses. And I did have headshot at 150%, which comes automatically on the Bighorn assault rifle. All right, and using the rock and roll shotgun as well, you can see that 60% critical hit chance with 81% critical hit damage. Headshot damage only being 65%. All right, so let's take a look at my armor. This build is pretty balanced in my opinion, guys. It had a good bit of armor in my opinion. 1,305,261 with 130,526 armor back on the kill. All right, did not have any armor regen or on this build though. All right, so let me show you a couple of other variants that you could use if you did not have the Coyotes mask. So you just don't want to use this setup, guys, because the main thing about Division 2 is its diversity in builds and being able to change out and make other things work within this game. You do not have to use the same stuff that I show you. These are always just blueprints. With that being said, many of you know the Momentum Backpack is great, guys. It really is designed for survivability, works great in groups or in solo gamers. And here's the setup, guys, that I would use if I was using the Momentum Backpack. And like I pointed out before, guys, with the striker set I do have, I can change out those cores to be more red cores or to be more blue cores, depending on what I'm going for. If I want more survivability, I leave those cores blue. But if I want more damage, I would change them out to being red cores. So guys, as you can see, I changed out those cores, and it ultimately brought up my weapon damage more, and I right that back at that 1.3 million armor. So like I said, very balanced build. This is another way you can play this build, guys. And if you're unfamiliar of how the momentum backpack work, basically, guys, you kill enemies, it drops a trophy on the ground. Each trophy that you pick up, you're going to be getting short and long-term passives. All right. So with that being said, though, this is another way you could have ran this build. You could have used the chest piece, guys, and I did have the talent ability rate on it, and that basically critical hits increase total weapon damage by 1%. Stacks up to 20 times, guys, to get a 20% increase in weapon damage whenever you have all those stacks up. So this is another way, but you will have to change that backpack from the momentum backpack back to the strikers backpack, guys, or you can even change your mask out just to make so that way you can get you'll have all 4 pieces on, so you will be getting the benefit of that. And now if you did not have the Cheska chest piece, you could have went with the Cheska backpack as well. And the talent I would have went with on that backpack is the unstoppable force, and killing an enemy increases weapon damage by 5%. Stacks up to 5 times, guys, so you get a 25% increase in weapon damage, and that refreshes, guys. So each kill it refreshes, so you can keep that up indefinitely. Now another way to set this build up, as you can see, guys, is to set it up this way as well, using the Centurion's scabbard holster, guys. But the talent is called counter. Swapping weapons will give the following groups bonuses one by one. The first time, guys, you have 20% increase in rate of fire with 20% increase in weapon damage. And number 2, guys, when you swap, you get 50% increase in magazine size with 50% increase in reload speed. The bonuses remain active for 12 seconds, guys. So you don't want to swap before that 12 seconds is up. Swapping to your sidearm will not trigger the bonuses, though. So this is another way you could have played this setup. Of course, you would have had to change that backpack to the striker's backpack, so you would have had all 4 pieces to be able to get the striker's gamble bonus that you get whenever having the 4 pieces of the striker set on. So again, guys, this is a different variants. All these variants work with these builds. Just use whichever works best for you guys. Today, I wanted to show you a little bit more variation when it comes to these builds, because there are multiple ways to put builds together in this game. These are always just blueprints, and always use whatever works best for you in your gameplay. And like I said, guys, the momentum backpack is great for survivability because you get all 3 cores. You get no weapon, armor, and a skill tier. On top of that, each kill, guys, you're going to drop trophies. You're going to pick those trophies up. You're going to get short and long-term buffs that increases your skill efficiency, weapon damage, and armor regen, and gives you bonus armor as well. So ultimately, like I said, I do use all these different versions of these builds, but just use whichever one works best for you in your gameplay. All right, guys, so what I am going to do is we're going to go over weapon specialization, and then I'm going to do a little bit of demonstration in the range to show you how much damage you can actually do with this particular build. But first, let's go over the modifiers I did use, guys. And many of you know the global modifier is called rogue momentum, and you will have a bonus in certain types of modifiers based on the type of active modifier that you choose. I did run overdrive, but you could have used the tactical supremacy because you will be going for headshots on this particular setup, or you could even use Vendetta. Ultimately, it's whichever one works best for you guys, but overdrive is pretty straightforward, guys, really easy to use. All right, with the overdrive, guys, it instantly maxes out your rogue momentum. And so basically what you're going to be getting is 30% increase in weapon damage, 30% increase in skill damage, with 30% increase in rate of fire, and also unlimited ammo. Now, you will have a penalty. After the overdrive ends, momentum gains are reduced by 70% for 150 seconds, guys. There are some passive modifiers that will counter that. Now, I did use critical momentum. Critical hits have a 40% chance to grant 1 momentum. I did use critical recovery. Critical hits restore 0.5% of your max armor. And I did use microwave coils. Pulse enemies each have a 50% chance of being affected by burn up to 4 enemies at a time, guys. You gain 5% bonus momentum for each enemy that is burning. So that's 20% increase in momentum that you can get whenever 4 enemies are burning. All right, guys, so let's go over the weapon specialization. I will do a little bit of damage demonstration in the range just to see how much damage you can get up to, and then show you a little bit more gameplay. All right, guys, so every third reload when using the gunner specialization is 50% faster. You do get 10% armor back on the kill. You will also have access to the Banshee Pulse. That's great, guys, and I already told you what that does. It basically disorients those enemies, and it can also penetrate through cover. Don't forget to equip the correct weapon element to get your bonus and 15% in weapon damage. I did forget to equip the shotgun element, but as you can see, guys, gameplay. In the gameplay, I still was dishing out pretty good damage. All right, so let me give you a little bit demonstration in the range. I generally don't do this, guys, because you can't really always fully go off what you do in the range based on when you're out there and when you're actually taking on these targets, because the targets will be moving. Compared in the range, you're not shooting at any enemies in particular that are moving. All right, guys, so the first thing you want to do is you want to pull out your ACS 12 shotgun, build up those stacks so you can get that full Striker's Gamble fully maxed out, and then, guys, then you want to switch to your Bighorn assault rifle, and as you can see, definitely go for those headshots, guys. That's where you get the most benefit when using this gun. And you will see, guys, I will get up to over 24 million headshot damage on this particular setup. We will go over that pretty shortly. I'm going to just show you as I keep firing this gun, because you know you get benefits the more you keep firing and reloading your weapon as well, and the more kills you do as well. So as you can see, we're right there at 24,877,886, with the last damage shot being 1,856,349. So overall, guys, this gun can really dish out amazing damage. Really enjoy using it. With that being said, guys, that's it for the build. If you like the build, just give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to turn the notification bell on so you know when I do drop new content. All right, guys, I'm going to give you a little bit more gameplay. And so stick around if you want to see that. Really appreciate each and every one of you for your valued time. And guys, one last thing, go ahead and create those characters, guys. There are plenty of guys on how to max out your weapon expertise. I do recommend you take time and watch that between now and May 27th, I mean. All right, D-Werewolf out. All right, guys, and one last thing I do want to point out, I will cut out the sections when I'm traveling from one location to the next. That way, you won't really be watching me just run from one location to the next.
The true sense of turning the memorial into... Isaac pulled upstairs. We can lock that tunnel door from their control room. That should keep us from being able to transport those orders on C-52. Head back up. The team from the campus has taken position inside the memorial.